What's up, my crypto legends? How is everyone doing? I hope you're doing having a fantastic day actually. And today we're going to take a look at Bitcoin, of course. We're going to take a look at some altcoins, the S&P 500 having a little bit of pumpy action. We are potentially entering a short position. If I do have time, I'll explain why. Very similar to the short position that we did find right over here, right? We've kind of made the same movement, but smaller, as you can see here on the chart, and it might be a good shorting opportunity, and I'll explain why if I do get the chance, guys. We're going to take a look at XRP, we can take a look at Luna, we can take a look at many other cryptos. And before we get started, I go through the comment section. Make sure to smash up that like button. We got already 150 people here in the comment watching the stream. Smash up the like button, guys, for the algorithm. And let's dive in here straight into the comment section, and then we can dive in straight into Bitcoin. What I can see, give you my opinion. You guys can give me your opinion in the comment section. Of course, we can analyze the situation. And yeah, guys, Andrew, welcome to the show. How are you doing? What's up, crypto maniacs? Deva, thank you very much for joining. Is ADA breaking out? Let's take a look at ADA. Why not? Is ADA breaking out? Breaking out from where? This is ADA. Let me just get the VPVR out of the way. Let's go to the daily here. Zoom in, and yeah, breaking out. Yeah, it's just at that 80 cent level. We have a pretty solid support range at just at 80 cents, and it's just lying down that range. Now, I mean, you could expect ADA to have a pump at some point after this, massive big downtrend consolidation. I wouldn't speculate on it just yet. There's, I think people are just losing hope on ADA. It's in a massive downtrend. We're just getting supported from this 80 cent level. It might just break down and continue this very aggressive downtrend. Very boring chart. We can zoom in the 4 hourly. This looks like it's not going to do anything. It looks like we're finding a little bit of a bottom here. This could have a little bit of pumpy action in the immediate short term, but nothing too exciting on ADA really. We have to find out where we have the exciting stuff, and XRP is looking extremely exciting. I want to show you some patterns here on XRP that could take us round about the $1 target. And yeah, but anyway, I'll wait for someone to say something about XRP, and we can take a look at that once I see it in the comment section, because I want to go through the comments, try and read most of you. 20k Bitcoin, says Rohith. I don't know if that is going to be possible all the way down to $20,000. A lot of buying interest below $30,000. So will we manage to push it down? Mech, how are you doing? Right, who's here in the comment section? I got Davo, one of my strongest moderators here in the comment section. What's on my crypto legend, says Richard. How are you doing? Hey Andy, how are you, says Sayad. I'm doing really well. Can you do Gala? TA, thanks. Let's take a look at Gala straight away. Just do some quickly look at these different crypto, look at support, resistance, see what's going on. It seems like Gala is like holding by a thread at this support from these higher lows. As you can see, it's got this uptrend. It doesn't look too bad. Reason why is because you are, in this higher low structure channel. You got this high, this high. So you could see some momentum to the upside if Bitcoin behaves. If we do see Bitcoin in the next coming days going up to that $44,000 in the next a couple of days, I would say. I'm still waiting. Bitcoin is getting really boring. You could see Gala, some strong projects such as Gala having that nice momentum to the upside. Okay, so yeah, finding a very solid range right now, Gala is. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Gala having a little bit of upside momentum if Bitcoin behaves. Remember, we need to do the analysis on Bitcoin. We can go through the patterns that I see, through them, what I can see in the Bitcoin chart to find out where we're going. I've been leaning slightly to the bullish side for the last week because of some patterns that I see, and we can go through that, of course. Made some nice profits today, says John. Absolutely fantastic. Compliments for you, way of being and sharing. Thank you very much, White Eagle. Right, let's go scrolling here through the comment section. What is your prediction on Solana? Well, Solana has had some issues with transactions. Okay, we all know that Solana is like, it was going to be the future blockchain, right? Super fast transactions. They have had many issues with their blockchain. So yeah, I think, are they solving this? Is it, I've been hearing also and reading that Solana is not, really completely decentralized. So yeah, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Solana. What could I say? We do still have these massive bullish divergence on Solana where we are creating lower lows here and also high lows on the RSI. So does this mean that the bears are potentially losing steam? This is on the daily. You could see some bullish momentum on Solana. When you see this kind of price action with the bullish divergence on the daily, this is, is this going to go like that forever? No, it's very likely going to get some kind of bounce very, very soon. I would be targeting this high over here because you could potentially say that you are forming a descending wedge here on Solana. Now you probably have one last leg down, and this is very, very similar price action than the summer of 2021. As you can see, right over here, there weren't any bullish divergence, but you were creating this kind of price action. Okay, it was creating slightly higher lows right there. It wasn't exactly the same, but if you check out Bitcoin, during May and July, you were kind of creating these lows, very boring price action until you find a breakout to the upside. And this looks very, very similar, if you ask me, where you are creating these slightly lower lows right there, just like Bitcoin did. And it's been over 2 months right now. So this is very likely going to find a pretty explosive move. I am leaning slightly bullish here. Slightly bullish, I don't want to be bearish down here, It's very, very, very low price action. Being bearish here is just, could we go lower? Yes, of course. But it wouldn't be phenomenal being, bearish right there, bearish here. And bullish here. Well, this is, very, very, looks like it's getting exhausted by the bears. So I would speculate that it's, this is forming a kind of a descending wedge, leaning slightly bullish. I would say that, if we do have a push down potentially to $70, yeah, it's very, very close to a potential buy zone. We do have this small consolidation here on Solana, just right here that we did create in August. All right, from the top to the low, we got a consolidation range. So I would say in between this, inside of this box, it's potentially going to be a buy zone for that potential leg up. So yeah, that's what I got here quickly for Solana. I think the bears are getting exhausted. Morning, Andy. Kevin, how are you doing? Lynn, hey. Will XRP rise already? I already sold my XRP of 7k. Will XRP rise? I've got something really cool on XRP. I think XRP will potentially go, all right, nothing is certain, to round about $1, okay, above 90 cents, okay, this high. I think it's going to attempt to break that 90-cent range. $1. I am in a long position on XRP at these levels. Okay, stop loss here behind the 70-cent level. Behind this low, we are, finding pretty nice support of this uptrend. And I do see here a butterfly pattern. It's a harmonic pattern. All right, where you are potentially going to have that leg up to around about the $1, $1.10 actually. Okay, so, and it is also above this, the resistance of this ascending channel. Okay, so I think you could see that momentum on XRP trying to, even hit this lower high. Okay, getting a liquidity grab above this lower high and, attempting to hit this high also. So in between this range, it would be my take profit area for XRP. And yeah, also if we zoom in on XRP, it's looking pretty good. pretty high volume on this big pump that we did have. And also very, very important, guys. I'm just going to zoom in. This is XRP on the 1 hourly. And this is, you know, a very, very good pattern, such as it's not a pattern, it's a setup. But you can trade this on Bitcoin. You can trade it on many other altcoins. It's a failing, okay, attempt to break a support or a resistance. And you can see here, you've had a big, massive pump with huge amount of volume. You are retracing after this pump. You've had a very, very large retracement. What happens on the retracement? You kind of get exhausted, right? This is getting exhausted. This is finding a kind of a bottom. So if I take the last low here that we did create on the 14th of March yesterday, looking at the 1 hourly, you know, you have already attempt to break out from that support. I was already long in XRP at this range, but it was a very small position. I've at quite a bit on my position, taking the position all the way down to these levels. And this was a confirmation. Seeing this was a confirmation. I add up heavily to my position. This is a swing failure pattern basically on the support. You are getting supported from these higher lows, right? Higher low structure. You fail to break this low on the 1 hourly, wicking below and closing above, confirming that you are getting, you know, exhausted here. Bears are losing steam already, giving, you know, potential, you know, opening the doors for the bulls to have some more pumpy action. I would aim for the highs. But if you want to be conservative on XRP, you know, if you're doing like a small swing trade, because it might take a few days from this high to the low, it's definitely going to hit some kind of resistance at the 618, very, very likely. But yeah, I think XRP, and then, you know, couple of weeks could attempt to come all the way up to that $1 range. This is only me, guys. I am trading this here on Bybit. You know the deal. If you are an experienced trader, you get an insane bonus down below. Okay, you can see that was that swing failure pattern. This is on the 15-minute, losing this low, getting back up again. I added heavily to my position, and then, you know, this is, you know, what the kind of price action. I think I'm going to hold this for a couple of weeks potentially. So that is my take here on XRP. Remember, you got $4,100 worth of bonus and a 30% discount if you sign up with my link. 30% discount on your fees for Bybit. Check it out, guys. I got a full tutorial. If you're an experienced trader and you don't know how to use these platforms, you got a full tutorial. I explain everything on it. Okay, so and it's another way to support the channel, of course. Right, let's take a look. So that's my take on XRP, guys. Just a little bit of an analysis. I mean, I absolutely love this kind of, you know, as soon as we get above these highs, I will start protecting my position. All right, until we don't get to these highs, you know, it might roll down and I get stopped out. I don't think that is going to happen. We're getting supported very, very strongly. A little bit of volatility. This was the volatility to get in. You know the deal. If you are an old subscriber here, you know that I try and wait also. Okay, I was pretty, you know, I looked pretty good here to enter, but because it's a small position, I ladder in a position to get my position down. And yeah, this is basically what we want. This kind of price action is what we really want to confirm a trade, guys. This is what we want. Getting a low there, attempting to break it out. We've got that massive big wick, failing, okay, closing above the last low. This is giving you, you know, it's opening the doors for the potential for the bulls to continue up. So that is my take on XRP. Good afternoon, Andy. Hope you day has been good so far. It's been absolutely fantastic. Osa Eka, thank you for joining and thank you for asking. Hope you're doing well as well. Hola Andy, tendremos profits hoy? Yes, profits today. Let's hope so. Let's hope so. Let's hope we're going to get some profits. Now, I'm really attempting to short the S&P 500 right now. Let me explain why, and I'm going to go through the comp section straight away. Last few days, I mean, we haven't checked out the S&P 500 for quite a few days, quite some few days right now. But what I want to show you here on on the S&P 500 is that we had a shark pattern here. Let me just get this out of the way. Okay, I want to explain this, guys. Super important to explain straight to the point so you can understand. Shark pattern right over here on the S&P 500. We did talk about this, and we talked about getting to the 50% and correcting down. This is a 505 pattern. Okay, it's another harmonic pattern followed by a shark. And you can check this on your by yourself. You know, you can screenshot these patterns on Google, but the shark harmonic pattern played out beautifully here, all the way to the target of 50% Fibonacci. It even went to the 618 from the high here. So this is the shark pattern, basically, from this low to this spike, to this correction, to this high over here, down over here. And then, you know, the target is the 50% because it's followed by a 5-0 pattern. From this high to the low, you hit 50% right there. You did have a little bit of volatility, okay? So depending if you had a very tight stop loss, you could get stopped out here. But if you see that big massive wick, basically this being a failed swing failure pattern just there on the S&P 500, looking at the 4 hourly, then yeah, this is basically, you know, get back in the trade because this is very likely going to come down to retest the lows. And this pattern that I'm showing you here, this 5-0 pattern, is this one, right? It's followed usually by a shark pattern. Okay, zooming in here. Let me just squeeze this here so you guys can see. So the idea of the shark pattern, bang, 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 down over here, then comes back up, meets the 50% from this drop, then comes back down to retest the lows. And you basically have that playing out beautifully with a little bit of volatility. Okay, it's not that beautiful because of that big wick here hitting the 618. But you basically have this pump, this coming down, absolutely beautiful. This is actually, there's another pattern right now, another shark pattern that's played out today. And I'm going to explain why. I was actually thinking of longing this, but it was too late. I was too late doing the analysis. But what I want to show you here, 5-0 pattern, guys. This is a shark pattern right there. You hit the C level, which would be the D on the shark. You have that pump. Where do you have that pump to? 50% Fibonacci right there. 50% from the high to the low. You hit that 50%, you get that reaction, you start correcting. It was a little bit nasty having this wick, but this is what trading is all about, right? You do have those nasty wicks, and yeah, you basically hit that 50% level, like I said, and come back down to meet the D point of the shark pattern, which would be the C, looking at the 5-0 pattern. Now what is happening right now is that we have had a smaller shark pattern, and I'm going to show you right away. It is this small little one right over here. Okay, you can see it. You can see the D point right over here from this end point of this big shark pattern. You have a small one right there. You have this bumpy action here to this high. You have the correction right there. You have this higher high right over here coming back down to this level. Bang, there you have it. What could happen right now? This is actually meeting target already. This shark pattern is already meeting target. Usually you do come down, you come up. If you take a look at this larger shark pattern, where does it come up to? This is on the S&P 500 on the 4 hourly right now. It comes up to that B point, which usually is round about 50% of this impulse to the downside. Look at the B point right there. You hit it, you come down. What is happening right now, you are actually hitting that B point right over here. You know, it's very, very likely that you might get a little bit of volatility, but you are attempting to come straight back down here to the D. So it's not hitting the 50% exact from this high to the low. It still could pump a little bit, a few more points, at least to the 4,230 points. I would be happy to risking a short right there. Could it roll down from here? Yes, of course it can. I'm going to try and get into the best price. level possible. So this is a potential short opportunity that we probably can do live today. I am planning to do a couple of hours live stream. Let's see if we have that last push up here, because this is basically mirroring this shark pattern but much smaller. So this is a shorting opportunity right there. And I'm planning to do this on PrimeXBT, guys. PrimeXBT is my favorite day trading platform, especially if you want to trade, you know, different stocks. You know, you got S&P 500. You are having that reaction at this level. I mean, it wouldn't be a bad idea right now. I'm going to be waiting patiently, see if we have one last leg up potentially to get these highs and then enter the short, guys. That is going to be my plan. But look at the shark pattern here. All right, if you got it from the low, up here, down, bang, you're hitting that almost 50% from this drop. This is potentially going to roll back down. Let's see if we can have that last little, you know, naughty wick to the upside, enter a trade and have a tight stop loss and try and get into that potential movement to the downside. Guys, if you're interested in trading stocks, you know, Dow Jones, S&P 500, NASDAQ, the German stock market, Forex, you have this on PrimeXBT. There are no scam wicks here. Totally legit platform. They have huge amount of liquidity. You get the best bonus down below, which is 7% added to your deposit. You deposit $10,000, you're getting $700 on top of that. You deposit $100, you get $7 on top of that to trade with, right? So you got that down below also, guys. It's another way to support the channel here. And yeah, let's dive in here straight into the comment section. Again, I just wanted to give you that explanation, okay, of the shark patterns on the S&P 500. Right, let's dive in here straight in through the comment section. Hi from Malaysia. Nick, how are you doing? Good day, Gabe. How are you? Hello. Bad for ADA, John. Yeah, ADA is just looking too boring, but you might get surprised on ADA in the next coming weeks. Who knows? Andy, what broker do you use to trade S&P 500? Says Pablo. I'm using PrimeXBT. It's my favorite. PrimeXBT is an excellent platform. Okay, you use Bitcoin, Ethereum, or USDT or USDC. If you don't like USDT, you can have USDC as collateral. So I'm using Bitcoin basically. Most is my Bitcoin because I'm looking to, you know, accumulate Bitcoin for the mid long term. So all these trades that I have in profit, I try to accumulate Bitcoin for the long run. Okay, I don't, you know, this is not a platform that I take funds out every week or every month. That is Bybit. Bybit is my one that if I have profits, I do withdraw. Not on PrimeXBT. I try and add up Bitcoin and then take it to my Bitcoin wallet. But the cool thing about PrimeXBT, you know, you have a bunch of other cryptos. You've got gold, you've got oil, you know, there's all sorts. Oil also is absolutely amazing. You know, I was just taking a look. I like to take a look at other commodities. I was taking a look at oil, okay, and wow, oil, absolutely amazing. It's having a big, massive correction. And, you know, it was, let me go to the weekly here. Look at this big, massive rejection from this high. You know, I would, if oil does pump back up to $100, $110 in the next coming days or, you know, a couple of weeks, I think oil will go down. Okay. The panic is already here. Oil, you know, we're not going to see a $200 barrel, okay, of oil. I don't think that's going to happen in the next coming months. You know, the expensive prices are already here. I mean, a lot of people, I get, you know, people asking me also thinking, you know, do you think oil is going to go up? I think no, they're all, you know, it's just at its high right now. So when everybody's talking about expensive oil prices, it's the time it is going to start to correct, very, very likely. So if we do have a retracement here on oil, I think we're going to have a pretty heavy correction in the next coming months. Oil barrels will go back to $80, $70, $60, I think, in the next coming months, very, very likely. So, I mean, you can trade that on PrimeXBT. This was correcting pretty heavily. It's absolutely insane how this is correcting right now. If we do see oil, you know, get that, and I've never traded oil, but I just thought I'm going to take a look at the chart And if you put fundamentals together, you know, it's very, very likely, you know, if we do get up to that 50% or 618 Fibonacci from this high, it's very, very likely going to roll back down. I don't see, you know, oil going to $150 a barrel. I mean, if obviously what's happening worldwide, if it does scale up, then yeah, anything can happen. But usually when everybody's talking about expensive price of gasoline and oil, and it's going to go much higher in the next coming months, it's usually when it's potentially peaking out, and oil will go cheaper. So yeah, let's take a look at, I've got a super chat here. Let me just scroll down here. I got a super chat here from someone. Thanks for the 99. Hello world. Hi Andy, can you take a look at on internet computer? Absolutely. ICP. Let's take a look at ICP. Why not? Absolutely. Well, I mean, this one's absolutely insane. This is absolutely insane. I think, yeah, we did take a look at this one not long ago. This one was absolutely insane. This one came out, it was over $100, or even, yeah, it was it $300 or $400? Absolutely crazy. When this came out back in 2021, it was already really expensive. This one has had a massive correction. If you strongly believe, I mean, this one does really look like a rug pull, right? I mean, it's gone absolutely to the lowest level. I remember seeing people promoting this on YouTube when it was well above $100. I'm not going to say any names, but if you bought up there, you got absolutely wrecked, and you are holding a bag of internet computer. If you did buy above $100, yeah, I mean, you might, you know, you might break even in the next few years. But this is very, I don't follow the project. I have no idea. I haven't taken a look at the project, but you know, it's starting to look like, you know, it's entering a potential, you know, nice buying zone. What I do see here on internet computer is that you are having, you know, pretty aggressive bullish divergence, where you are creating lower lows here on the RSI, higher lows on the RSI, lower lows on the price action. You are kind of forming a descending wedge. I think this one, you know, very, very likely is going to have at least, you know, a small pump, at least to about $24-25, maybe in the next coming weeks, because nothing falls, you know, in a straight line. You do have those pumps while you're going down. So if you do pump to this range, it would be the top of the wedge, which would be a technical target. And also, this might be a shorting opportunity. Okay, very, very likely you'll be hitting this high over here. What I would wait, if internet computer does get up to this $24 range, tries and attempts to break this lower high right there, and fails, that is going to confirm that this is going to come lower, at least to retest these lows. So I would be patiently waiting for that. If you want to speculate that this is going to have a pretty decent pump in the next coming weeks, which is very, very possible. I mean, this is always up to you. I would aim for that high. I would aim for these, you know, these levels, you know, mark those levels, mark these levels, and be ready to trade it. You need to have a plan. So, you know, you can't just randomly trade. I would be waiting for those levels. I would set an alarm here, okay, and then I'll get an email on my phone on, set an alarm at these price levels. As soon as ICP gets to this range, then yeah, whoops, I got two here. So yeah, I got an alarm right there, as you can see. There's an alarm. As soon as ICP gets to this level, then I want to see the reaction, because if we fail to break above this range, then I'm going to say, okay, it's time to short ICP, baby. So this is, this is something that you can do yourself, and this can be traded on It can be traded here on Bybit, I think. It does ring a bell. Yeah, it is here. ICP is on Bybit. So yeah, I've got the alarm set. So I'll get an email as soon as we hit those levels. I will be checking out the chart. It might be a great shorting opportunity. So depending on how we react to that high, because this is obviously going to get a bounce at some point. Even though if we do come down to $13, $12, it will get that strong bounce at some point. And we are in a very aggressive downtrend. So I would follow the trend and try and you know, make some money on that movement. So yeah, that's my take on ICP. A bounce is very, very possible in the coming weeks to that $24 range. I would take a look at fib levels from this high to the low. It would be hitting that 382, and let's see if it manages to hit the 50% fib level from this high to low. It's going to be interesting. This area is going to be very, very interesting to see what happens. So that's my take on ICP. Luna, please, says Kevin. Absolutely. Let's take a look at Luna for Kevin straight away. And I'll take a look at the next super chat. Guys, I know I can see the ratchets here. Or the spanners. I don't know what they are. In the comment section. David, thanks for letting me know. Mark Dutch. My man Joseph. Thank you guys for the insane support. Let's take a look first at Luna, and then we'll jump into to Michael's super chat. Let's take a look, guys. 370 watching. Make sure to smash up that like button, guys. Make sure to smash up the like button. 370 watching at this moment, guys. Right, this is Luna on the daily. I mean, I think Luna can correct a little bit more. I am actually in a short position on Luna from this peak. Okay, we did talk about this. I am in a short position from 93.5 here on Prime XBT. If Bitcoin starts pumping like crazy, if we do see other altcoins pumping like crazy, yeah, Luna might recover. It might recover. But the reason why, you know, a good place to take profits, you know, I'm always aiming for the low, right? If I enter a long or a short at a correction, I'm always aiming for the top or the bottom, right? So this is a local bottom right there. So if I'm shorting here, my potential target is here, right? For a double top or a breakout. I don't know, but you know, I'm looking to get into those strong resistance and support levels. And on Luna, we were talking on the last live stream that this is a very, very strong level where you do see that insane volatility right there. Look at this perfect bounce at this level. Once you broke out this resistance, I'm talking about $94, and you come to the $103, $104 almost, yeah, around about that range. You break out this zone. Wow, this is a, you know, perfect bounce. Of course, it's a little bit of a risky one because you've just pumped so much that, you know, this is not even a 382 correction. It's not going to the 382 even, I think. Yeah, just at the 382. 382, it's also strong Fibonacci level, you know, a little bit of confluence right there. So a risky long. It is a risky long. I would have entered this long if I would have been in front of the computer once I see this wick. See this wick trying to break down, back up again, then you could potentially long there, putting a stop loss below this wick for those potential gains. So same scenario right over here, where we do have the price dropping below this major support. It is turning into resistance. Now we could see a huge amount of buying pressure coming in right now, but you do see that reaction. This is reacting to this level. So yeah, I mean, the speculation would be coming back down to retest the lows here at around about $85. If you are on a conservative target, you could aim to that 618 from the low to the highs. You know, you hit that 618 range not to perfection, but you did hit it, as you can see. If you are conservative, you know, it is a take profit area. It is a take profit area from this low to the high. You know, sometimes you just hit that 618. There's suddenly a huge amount of buying pressure and you pop back up. So, yeah, my take on Luna is if it does break out from this range successfully, you could have an attempt on going to higher levels because it's getting above a major resistance. I'm talking about that $93, $94. So we are seeing a little bit of strength here on Luna. Not much to add here. A lot of people, I see a lot of people on the Telegram group, a lot of people on Twitter talking about shorting Luna. And you know, I was seeing this and I was thinking, okay, yeah, I'm actually shorting it from this level. But seeing so many people wanting to short it makes me bullish. It makes me bullish. It makes me, okay, it's time for a big, massive candle now on Luna, as everyone's talking about shorting Luna because of the massive big move it's had to the upside. It's absolutely crazy. Twitter is absolutely crazy. Sometimes it's just too much. So if everybody's talking about shorting Luna, it's probably going to get a big fat pump. Anyway, that's my take here on Luna. You could potentially see another attempt on hitting the highs. If it manages to break up, you might have a little quick day trade or small swing trade attempting to hit the highs again. So yeah, if I do see a breakout here, I will be closing potentially my position on a retracement to see if I can get him to break even. So let's take a look at Rune here. Oh, hang on a second. Michael F. How about OGN? What is your take on that chart? OGN, I think OGN is one of them that has been pumping like crazy, such as Rune. I know people always like the pumpy action charts, don't they? A lot of people, you know, once something is pumping, hey, check this out because this is pumping. It's hitting a massive resistance. Origin protocol. Just keeping it really simple. Let me just take a look here at volume profile. It is true that it has a huge amount of volume at this range where we're currently at. You know, this is why if this is come to floor levels. Basically, this is where we were trading back in 2020 and early 2021 before we had this insane run up. So this is basically hitting floor levels, you know, from 2020. So how much lower can this go? Maybe not much lower. Not much lower. And what is happening right now is that you having a little bit of a reaction, getting, you know, this is the thing. This is what we want to see from those other cryptocurrencies that are having the bullish divergence. You know, you got these lower lows, you got these higher lows on the RSI. Look how this has reacted to this bullish divergence on the daily. It's gone absolutely bananas here. It's just gone. This is what we want to see on a lot of the cryptos, that we are detecting those bullish divergence. They are getting boring. You can see the bears getting exhausted. Get ready, okay, to, you know, try and long, or, you know, get into small long, add to your position potentially, for just in case you dip to lower levels and you want to add to make it a bigger position that you can afford, of course, to lose, and trying to get that into that big pump momentum. Now, it is true that Rune right now is hitting, you know, a major level. We did have, you know, this high over here, these lows. This is the summer 2021 lows. You are going to start hitting that barrier right now. Yeah, stay cautious on this. I would stay cautious. If it does have a pullback, you might have an attempt to create a higher low at the 618 and try and break back up again. But I think this is going to react to this level and correct. That's what I can tell you here. So yeah, that's what I got here for Rune. It's already having that reaction. If we go to the 1 hourly chart, massive bearish divergence right here. If this starts correcting heavily, it might be a good longing opportunity at the 618. If this might just do something like this and start correcting, you know, heavily. It happens all the time on the cryptos, and you know that's potentially what you're looking for here for Rune. And then if you find a kind of a floor at the 618 at the lows, 618 is at these lows, and if you start consolidating here, seeing the bears losing steam, then that is potentially going to indicate you that the bulls do have, you know, they do have the doors open to continue up. So let's take a look. So that's what I got for you for OGN. Thanks for the super chat, my man. S&P short. Let's take a look at the S&P. Yeah, I mean, let's take a look. Let's see how we react to these levels. All right. This is the moment. This is the moment. Right. It is just about hitting that 50% from this high. Just hitting 50% right now. Let's see on the next couple of hourly candles, okay, 15-minute hourly candles, how we react to this level. If we do get above this high and start getting rejected, even better here on the S&P. If we do manage to get above this range and get a small reaction to this level, even better. In between 50% and 618. So yeah, this is looking very interesting. This is you don't want to get into long right here. That is for sure. Let's see how we react in the next half an hour, 1 hour. I will potentially be shorting this live on PrimeXBT. What could happen also is that you have just big, massive bullish momentum. You're going to have a V-shaped recovery. I don't take the trade. I take the trade when I see, you know, these stops, these reactions. When I see a couple of candles reacting to that level, then I say, okay, I'm entering a trade, because I can see exhaustion. I don't trade. I don't get into short blindly from a big candle. No. You need to be patient, guys. You need to be patient. That is key for trading. But it is starting to be in a nice area. Let's see how we react, guys. I'm going to try and be in this live stream for at least another hour. So we might enter that trade here live on PrimeXBT. PrimeXBT, guys, it's the best trading platform for day trading in my personal opinion, because they have so many different assets. You got an insane bonus down below. Right, let's take a look at different cryptos. Thoughts on Rune? Let's take a look at Rune. Yes, of course, we can take a look at Rune, Thorchain. It's another one that's pumped like crazy. Let's take a look here at Rune on the daily. I mean, Rune is absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible pump that Rune has had. The good thing about Rune is that we are above a large resistance range. I mean, this is the thing. I mean, this is another one that was creating bullish divergence. Lower lows on the price action, higher lows on RSI. Bang, this exploded. Hopefully, we are going to see some cryptos doing that. We are going to see a bunch of cryptos doing that because a lot of them are creating daily bullish divergence. Good thing about Rune, this $6.60 range has been a major level. A lot of volatility. Beautiful stops just there. Beautiful stop there. You know, it has been a major level. What's happened? We've sliced through this level. I think it does have an attempt. If it does correct back down to round about that $6 range, it's going to be looking pretty good for a potential long. I do see some more bullish momentum for Rune in the next coming weeks. Aggressively in a downtrend. I mean, if you are bullish for the next coming weeks, it doesn't mean that you're bullish for the entire year, because you know, as soon as we see Rune coming up to these levels, I would start being bearish. We might be creating a big massive descending triangle, as you can see here. So, but I am bullish here looking at Rune for the next couple of weeks. You could see some crazy price action to the upside still for Rune. So it's above a major resistance. which is already good. Take a look at VPVR levels. I mean, wow, this is one reason why I'm taking a look at price action from February of 2021. Obviously, it's been the strongest level here. So looking at the VPVR, you know, that $3.50 range, $3.80, where you have this spike on the VPVR from volume traded inside of this area. These spikes are so strong as support. You can clearly see it here, getting a big massive bounce. This is one of the only indicators that I use, which is a VPVR. So yeah, so far so good. If it retraces back down to $6 range, it might be a good time to hop in this ride. Can BTC still go to 34K? Yes, of course it can. Yeah, of course it can. I am sticking more to the bullish side on Bitcoin. I've been leaning more bullish. This is why I'm in a swing long position here on Bybit, down at, you know, 38.3 now is my average entry price. If we start having those wicks to the downside, I will be planning to add to my position. I do see these two scenarios playing out. They are both Gartley patterns, like I showed you on my latest videos. And yeah, I think we're creating nice higher lows here. I think so. I might be very bearish once we start hitting $43,000-$44,000. Depending on how we react to that level, I might be bearish. I'll be extremely bearish if we start hitting $47,000-$48,000 in the next coming days. If we do manage to get up to this range, I'll be extremely bearish there. I'll be very bearish if we start seeing a little bit of volatility at this area. If we start seeing this kind of price action like this, you know, or like this, or like this, this kind of price action where you stop and turn around, if I start seeing that over here, then yeah, this is the time you want to be bearish, in my personal opinion. You'll be hitting the resistance of this ascending channel, as you can see. And also, this is still pretty much valid. We had a bearish Gartley here also, from this high to the low to the high right there. You come down to the 8088, which is perfect for a harmonic pattern. It's the ultimate low for a potential harmonic pattern. And the Gartley takes you all the way up here to the 0.79 retracement from this high to the low. $48,000 is the target, and there is still time for this. Not much, but there is still a few days. If you take a look at fib time, guys, I want to get a video on Fibonacci time, and this is absolutely insane. Fibonacci time is absolutely insane. We're hitting the 1-to-1 right there from this movement, and we still have some time to the 1.6. 1.6 will be the ultimate end. All right, if we're still hovering at this range, okay, for another 10 days, 9 days approximately, this pattern will be invalidated because of the time. You know, it's taking too long. This needs to get up there, you know, at the 1.618 at the most. Because if not, it's just taking too much time. It's lost power. The pattern's lost power, basically. So I will get a video out soon of Fibonacci time, showing you different examples on corrections, on how you can implement them on patterns to see if it's still valid, if it's not valid. And it's really powerful. Really powerful to know the timing as well from the pumps and the dumps. So is $34,000 still possible? Yes, it is possible, but I think not in the short term. I am leaning slightly bullish in the short term. If we hit this range, and we might correct back then, and this might happen in April. So yeah, We might see this scenario instead of this scenario from going down in the next couple of weeks. I'm leaning more to this first scenario, and that's my take. Let's take a look. I mean, the S&P 500, it's still pumping. We're just getting these highs. Let's see what happens. Next 10 minutes, it would be ideal because we've got an hourly candle close on the S&P 500 in 10 minutes. This hourly candle is closing in 10 minutes. If we have a big massive spike right now in the next 10 minutes and close below this high over here, I am stepping in, guys. I will be stepping into a short live with you guys. No doubt about that. That is what I want to see. That is the kind of, price action that I want to see. The rejection, closing one hourly candle, attempting to break this lower high right there. That will, give me a green light for a short position. So let's see if we do manage. If it doesn't happen, let's see if it happens on the next one. On the next hourly candle. Right, let's take a look here. Guys, make sure to smash up that like button. We got 360 people watching. 200 likes. Yes. Smash it up, boys and girls. I got another super chat here. Jonathan, how are you doing, my man? Jonathan Chapa. What about EOS? Short term and long term. EOS has been one of the most boring cryptocurrencies ever. Most boring cryptocurrencies. I hate doing analysis on EOS, I gotta say, because it's just so boring. It's just... it's at, it's... What other cryptocurrency is almost at March Black Swan event lows? Okay, the lows were about $1.45. EOS hit $1.45 approximately at the Black Swan event from March of 2020, where everything went, plunged. Everything plunged and, lost 50, 60, 70% of value. We are well far away. A lot of the cryptos are very far away from the lows of the Black Swan event created in March of 2020. You can check, most of the cryptos are still very far away from that low. Now, I don't follow the project, but who knows? Who knows? Because you can see we are at the bear market low from back in I'm talking about EOS here, looking at the daily. Bear market low is round about the $1.60, $1.70 right there. You got the Black Swan event low, which is round that range. We are at those levels right now. What has happened every time we've hit those levels? We've had a recovery. Now, this recovery has taken months. Next recovery here for EOS might take months and months and months till you see something, something nice. But, if you are bullish in this project, it is definitely not a bad time to start accumulating, in my personal opinion. You are basically at floor levels. Bear market low from 2018. The Black Swan event low from March also. This is hitting those low levels. I mean, if you want to start, if you want to make some gains on a project, this is definitely where you want to start buying, I think. You are seeing those bullish divergence where you are creating, those aggressive lower lows on the price action. You are creating higher lows on the RSI. We have seen some of them popping, such as Rune, such as OGN, making this kind of price action. Will this happen to EOS? It's very, very possible. Like I said, we are at floor levels. I don't see this one going much lower. It can go a little bit lower, but not much more. Not much more. So yeah, nothing much to add on this one. We can take a look at the 4 hourly. I mean, this is screaming for a potential bounce, potential big bounce at some point. It's screaming for it, no doubt about that. I mean, this is entering. This has got a massive big descending wedge here, formed, you know, since December. You could get a really big massive bounce on EOS, no doubt about that. So that's what I got for EOS, Jonathan. Not much to add on EOS. It's at floor levels, very near floor levels. Are you shorting S&P 500 now? No, I am waiting. Oh, we got a big rejection here. It would have been nice to get. Hang on a second. Let me just zoom in. Let me zoom in because it might indicate that we can short now. Let me just see the highs here. Hold on 1 second. Let me just check out the highs here. 1 second. Right, highs is at 4,239. Yeah, we didn't get above these highs. It would have been ideal. But I mean, we already seen that reaction to this range. Absolutely insane. This wick would have been ideal. We got 2 minutes for this candle close. If we would have wicked above these highs, these lower highs with that wick, oh, that is basically a perfect setup. Now, of course, you can speculate in shorting this, but I want to get into the best trades, guys. It's so easy to lose money trading. It's so easy that you want to get into the perfect trades, right? I mean, I really want to be perfection in trading because it's so easy to lose money with the volatility. It's easy. So yeah, it would be nice to see that price action. So far, you're getting a reaction. You can see that reaction. Let's see if we can have a little bit of more price momentum, more consolidation at this range for that potential mountain roll down. But yeah, it's definitely screaming for a short. It's definitely screaming for a short position. No doubt about that. Right, let's scroll down here through the comment section. Can you take a look at Phantom? Great buy zone. Let's take a look at Phantom. Great buy zone. I can see here in the comment section. I mean, Phantom beautifully went down to not exactly $1, but we were aiming for that $1 range here on Phantom. As soon as we did lose this major support range at that $1.30 area, we got, you know, this bounce as support there, massive consolidation right there. You know, this was it in December. You got a bounce here, consolidation, finally breaking. This was definitely screaming for that next major support level just at that $1 range. We just hit $1.03, $1.04 approximately. This is where we do have a big bounce of support from this retracement. So this is currently where we at right now. Is this a good buy zone? I mean, it's still early to say. It's still a little bit early. This is still falling pretty aggressively, okay? I mean, look at this. This is still falling pretty aggressively. I mean, it's not even a wedge or anything. It's just like falling a lot. You're not seeing a kind of a floor. So this, you know, if you might think this is a great buy zone, but this could still actually, you know, do this. You know, how do you know that this is a great buy zone? You are hitting a nice support level, yes, but I want to see more. I want to see more. I want to see reaction. I want to see the bears getting exhausted, finding a you know, kind of a floor price. And I don't see that at the moment here. Yeah, Phantom can actually go a little bit lower, in my opinion. We are below major VPVR. That is going to be heavy resistance right now. We are below this range. Yeah, we could actually dip below $1, I think. That's what I think on Phantom. Right, let's take a look. I think we can risk. You know what I think here is going to happen potentially is that you're going to have one more wick to the upside trying to get these highs. This is looking at the S&P 500. But just for, yeah, I'll put a small short position here. Enter at a market. Why not? It is looking already for that short. If it does have I've entered a small position here. If we do see that wick up and then have a correct and see that rejection from these highs, I'm talking about the S&P 500 right now. I've got a little bit of too much stuff here, but what would be ideal for the S&P 500, and I would be aiming. I will tell you that I will tell you my take profit range on the S&P 500. You know, if we do get that leg up to this level in the next hour or two after seeing that reaction and get rejected from these lower highs, it's going to be a great shorting opportunity. Where would I short to? I would short at least to this next level. That is going to react at some. We are going to see definitely a reaction at this range, because you have two solids. You know, a few solid 1 hourly candles closing at the 4,178 points. And I mean, you know, you could take a look at fib levels. Will it be the 618 approximately? Yeah, 618 is slightly lower, so you might get a little bit of volatility, but definitely a take profit area if you do correct down here. Now, target from the 5-0 pattern is coming back down to retest the lows. So protect position, take profits here, and you know, wait to see if you do come down and retest the lows before Friday. Still got a few days still for the end of the week. You could see that target being hit by Friday. So yeah, let's take a look at some different cryptos. It would be ideal to see. I mean, I would prefer to see in the next coming hours that reaction, you know, a little bit of more volatility here to the upside would be ideal. And then that consolidation, a couple of wicks like this, but above this high. And then that would confirm the exhaustion from the bulls to come to lower levels. So, yeah. Remember, guys, S&P 500 can be traded on Prime XBT using crypto. You got 4 cryptos that you can deposit to use as collateral for your gains or for your losses. It's Bitcoin, Ethereum, USDT, and USDC. You get 7% added to your deposit. I've got a full tutorial on how to use this platform down below, guys. Check it out. It is absolutely amazing. Super easy friendly. I've got a full video tutorial down below so you can check it out. Let's take a look at another cryptocurrency. Star Atlas, please, Andy. I think Star Atlas is still Atlas, I think it is. No signs of bottoming out just yet. The only thing about this crypto, wow, this one's got absolutely exhausted, absolutely insanely massive downtrend. But it is getting there. It is getting there. It is getting there. It is getting to that flat price level And that is when you guys want to potentially step in. I'm not telling you what to do, but I know it's an insane gaming project, and I'm not sure when they are launching, but this is something that I bet you can follow them. You can follow them on Twitter, on Telegram, and they can tell you approximately when they're aiming to launch this game. It's definitely going to be something big team, big investors. Next hype, this one's going to absolutely crush it, because the game looks absolutely amazing. It's taking months and months to develop. As soon as this one starts launching, there will be a hype on this one. So if this starts finding a floor level in the next coming months, if it's going down, and starts finding a floor, then you want to pay attention. You know, it might even go down to the 1 cent range. Currently trading at 2 cents. Yeah, definitely want to get into that. As soon as it finds a floor. No signs of finding a floor just yet. I have no idea how they have their token release. I mean, this is insane. They've got 2.16 billion in circulation right now. 36 billion total supply. I mean, what is it? It's about 3-4% of the total supply that is actually in circulation right now only. I think the other one, the DAO Polis, has more utility for the game, but yeah, very similar as well. Too much of total supply, not many in circulation. I have no idea of how the tokenomics works, how the unlock is planned. So yeah, looking at this chart, nothing to analyze. When I see a chart like this, you know, more potential downtrend is very, very, very possible till you find a bottom. Still no signs of that, unfortunately. Right, let's take a look at Blocktopia for Vilma. Absolutely. Why KASTA is dead? You talking about the token potentially? KASTA's not dead. They are working very hard for the launch of the application. That is going to happen in the next coming months. It happens on every crypto project. Every crypto project, they have an idea, they talk about it, they promote it, and you know, this is the thing. Star Atlas, you know, when did they talk about Star Atlas? Ages ago. The game is not even launched yet. You know, Star Atlas came out, you know, talking about Atlas, this insane gaming project built on the Solana blockchain that's going to be absolutely amazing. Okay, guys, and you know, okay, they launched the token. Where's the game? The game's not even launched yet. So, and it's been, you know, it's going to be a year in September, and the game's, you know, over a year since they've been talking about this gaming project. Where is it? So this is the thing. It happens on every crypto project. Once it launched, then you potentially can get that massive big hype. So yeah, it's not dead. It's developing. You know, you always have, you know, you can find bugs maybe, and you want to get a perfect launch of the application for KASTA. And that is, they're just making it to perfection. You know, no other application can send crypto, you know, instantly for free. So this is definitely some big development behind this application, guys. So yeah, just a matter of time, I guess. Yeah, it's definitely not a rug pull. I know a lot of people out there. They are, you know, they are annoyed because they haven't seen the launch of the application, and yeah, but it's definitely not a rug pull. Yeah, we're going to see a big advertisements on KASTA worldwide. I can tell you that once the app is launched. Andy, what do you think on the talks about banning Bitcoin today? Is that about the European Union banning crypto proof of work mining? Sand, please. Absolutely. Let's take a look at sand right away. Why not? Let's take a look at sand on the charts. See what's going on. It looks like sand could potentially be at floor levels. You have slightly bullish divergence here on the RSI, nothing too exciting. You could see sand getting a little bit of a bounce at this. Well, very hard to say, very hard to say. It is true that we have solid VPVR here. Very, very solid support levels from the price action from November of 2021 till today. Biggest level is right over here. I wouldn't be surprised to see a small bounce, but if it does bounce, you know, I wouldn't speculate on this going up or down, but if it pumps, I think this level is going to be a major shorting opportunity, a potential fake out from this range, from these lower highs. This trend line, you're still going to be aggressively creating lower highs. Let's go with the trend. The trend is pretty clear. It is to the downside. So yeah, sand is just not doing much right now. LRC, please. Absolutely. Let's take a look at LRC right away. Let's take a look at LRC. Right, let's take a look at LRC. Hang on one second, guys. Right, I didn't put slow motion here. I can see someone talking about LRC many times. I'm putting slow motion right now, thanks to you. So, hang on a second. Let me just put in my settings here. There we go. Okay, let's take a look at LRC right away. Yeah, no spamming in the chat, please. Loop ring, right? This is a loop ring. This is an L2 solution for the Ethereum network. Yeah, you could, it's hitting an insane support level right now. Uh, 0.88 here on Fibonacci, nothing too exciting. Wow, this one got absolutely crushed. It got insanely crushed. Just take a look at the logarithmic 1 second. It's at insane support range right now. Look at the amount of volume on the VPVR, and I'm checking all the way back from 2020. You are basically hitting the highs from, you know, from February, March, April of 2021. You're at that range right now. You got a big amount of volume. Whoops, sorry. You are creating some bullish divergence. You have slightly lower lows right there. This could be finding a bottom here. You could get a bounce at this level. You know, you look at this major resistance right there. You are at that level. You are getting exhausted here. The bears are getting exhausted with a bullish divergence. You could expect that bounce on loop ring. I'm pretty bullish on the L2. L2s definitely bullish for the layer 2s for the Ethereum network, such as Metis DAO, such as you know, Matic, of course, will do well. Loop ring. Yeah, this is looking pretty nice. It's a pretty nice level here for a potential bounce. That is for sure. There's no doubt about that. Beautiful cup and handle right there. Exploded out. It looks pretty nice, this level. That 60 70 cent level is very interesting for a potential buy. That is for sure. Dot analysis, please. Okay, let's take a look at Dot. Bitgert, let's take a look at Bryce. Dot analysis first. Andy Sand, thank you. I've taken a look at Sand already, Senna. Let's take a look at Dot here. I've got a few requests of Dot. Let's take a look at Polkadot right away and see what's going on. Yeah, Dot looks pretty good. Dot does look pretty good. I think I was analyzing Dot here and comparing the situation from back of the summer of 2021, where we did have almost very similar price action. And even better now on Dot, we are having bullish divergence. We are creating these slightly lower lows, lower highs, as you can see. And it's kind of a descending wedge. You are creating this right now. We have broken out. I think this is just consolidating, getting ready for that leg up. It looks like this needs to happen just by looking at the charts. Looks like that this needs to happen right now. And even better, this time you are having those bullish divergence. So we've seen them already on other cryptos. You can check out Rune. Very similar price action on Rune, on OGN. And then you have this big spike on the RSI and the price action like this. It looks like it is screaming for that movement, guys. Not gonna lie. I think EOS is going to skyrocket, accumulating for 3 years now. Football HD. Maybe. I think it's a Chinese blockchain project. Hit that thumbs up, Crypto Alchemist. Thank you for joining. Joseph, thank you very much for the insane support also. EOS. Yeah, I don't follow EOS too much. Great stuff, Andy. Thank you. Raining today in the southeast USA, Alabama. I am able to pull up charts with you, which is helping me. Absolutely fantastic, Jamie. Hope you're learning a lot if you're not experienced. And yeah, hope you're enjoying the YouTube channel for sure. Right, let's take a look at Matic here in the comment section. Let's take a look at Matic right away. See what's going on with Matic. Do we have any patterns? Anything bullish? Anything bearish? Same thing here. Same thing here for Matic. It's kind of getting exhausted. It's getting exhausted. It looks like we kind of revisited this low already, just there, hitting it with a wick. And we could see Matic. I mean, it's not, we do have those bullish divergence on Matic right there. There is bullish divergence looking at the RSI, higher lows, lower lows on the price action. Huge amount of projects being built on Matic network. Yeah, I think this could get exhausted and see a bounce back up. Very, very possible. Hey Andy, great work as always. TS Pedro, thanks. I mean, take a look at altcoins. I'm not taking a look at major levels, major patterns. I'm just going quickly through the charts, guys. This is, you know, I'm basically focused on Bitcoin, S&P 500, and yeah, basically on Bitcoin, looking always to trade Bitcoin. I might take a look at some altcoins such as XRP. I've been taking a look at XRP here for quite a bit. I've got some patterns. Everything indicates we could see some bullish momentum on XRP. But when you ask guys charts that I don't really look at, it's just a quick overview. So yeah, it's Phantom TA done. Yes, we can take a look at Avalanche. Avalanche looks like, Jay, that we were losing support, I think. Let's take a look at Avalanche here 1 second on the chart. This one's looking pretty good for a big bounce here. This is a potential fake out, in my personal opinion, from these higher lows. Reason why is because you do not have a successful breakout till you break the last higher low or lower high from a trend line, okay? So from higher lows or low highs, right? So the last one would be this one. The last high would be this one exactly right now, looking at the daily chart. So let's take a look at the 4 hourly here. I mean, 4 hourly looks pretty nasty. But this is just, you know, looking at the 4 hourly, you could just see a big fake out there, big fake out here. This very likely is going to be another fake out from losing this higher low structure. You need to break below this low over here. If AVAX starts breaking below the $65 successfully, closing a couple of hour candles here, every single retracement here is a great quick short opportunity. There is money to be made on this kind of price action. But if you're hitting the low here, yeah, this is very possible, very likely, very possible it's going to get back inside of this triangle. Obviously, a big move will be coming soon because you are just going sideways inside of this asymmetrical triangle. Lower highs, higher lows right there. You know, it's just needs to make a move at some point to a direction. So there's definitely money to be made from this range. You would have to confirm the breakout from this low or the breakout of this high. If you break out successfully, there's quick money to be made there. There's quick money to be made here from this last low, higher low, from this last lower high right there. So let me just ask you guys, are you bullish on Bitcoin for this week? Are you bullish on Bitcoin this week, guys? I am bullish. Let's take a look at Phantom has been checked out already. Let's take a look at SNX right away. Let's take a look at SNX. Let's take a look at SNX right away. What's going on? Long live stream. Long live stream. I've already got a sore throat. SNX. Oh, yeah. SNX. 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 Oh, absolutely crazy. Crazy, crazy. I think this one, once the DeFi hype comes at some point, it might not even be this year or next year. SNX is going to be one of those cryptos that will explode, of course, at some point. Very boring price action. Very similar scenario to a lot of the cryptos. Higher lows on the daily RSI, lower lows. This is looking for a pop, okay? It's looking for a little bit of a bounce. And it might be a great shorting opportunity, but you are looking for that potential bounce. We did lose here the summer lows on SNX. Right there, summer lows of June. Lost it, got a little bit of volatility here because it was a very small, poor breakout. But as soon as you did successfully break down, you could see very far away from this range. You retraced perfectly there to this to the summer lows right there, getting that correction to the downside. But yeah, this one is, I think, a potential bounce is very likely to happen. You are forming that descending wedge. You know, your lower lows, your lower highs. This is forming a beautiful wedge. This is very likely going to, well, there's a higher probability of this having a break up than a break down. Obviously, descending wedges can break down also, of course. And holding a handful of SNX. Yeah, I've got a bunch of SNX. I think I've got about 1.5% of my portfolio. I've got a very small bag of it. Been holding it for ages and ages. So yeah, can someone tell me what is the opinion on Bitcoin? Can someone tell me what is your opinion on Bitcoin? Absolutely. I'm bullish till end of April, says Football HD. 69% of people say yes. So we got some bullish people here in the comment section. We got some people that are bullish. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. I am bullish. I think we are very likely going to reach. Hey, you can't be bullish when you're pumping, eh? You can't be bullish when you're having a little pump, huh? But yeah, I think $43,000, $44,000 Bitcoin is likely. Next target is to get above this high because of a harmonic liquidity grab. Definitely be taking profits there if we do get up there. And then potential next move would be getting above these highs. It makes total sense to see that price action. Then we might have a big fall from this range. Yeah, there's no doubt about that. I think we could fall aggressively once we get people extremely bullish at these levels. So that's my take here on Bitcoin. I explained Bitcoin at the beginning of the stream, guys. I'm going to wrap it up, guys. I see a lot of people are pretty bullish, 64% from almost 100 votes. Guys, thanks for joining. I've got a little bit of a sore throat at this moment. I'm going to do a 3-hour live stream. I was planning to do a 3-hour live stream today, but I will do a 3-hour live stream in the next coming days. Make sure to smash up the like button to all-time high, as they say, and check out Bitcoinsensus website. You can check out the live stream at the beginning. I've taken a look at a bunch of cryptocurrencies today. Thank you, guys. Check out Bitcoinsensus. Follow all our socials down below. If you want bonuses on Prime XBT and for Bybit, you got an insane bonus down below, of course. Best bonus available. Another way to support the channel, and you get, you know, a big, nice bonus for your trading. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.